Welcome to our channel. If you are here for the first time, consider subscribing to our channel, like the video, and share them with your friends. Please hit the bell icon to get the notifications on our next videos. Thank you. Bride Kidnapping, by Romani Gypsies. In a particularly disturbing custom followed by Roman Gypsies, kidnapping a girl you like is very much legal. If that wasn't weird enough, kidnapping also means that you've won her and have the right to marry her, provided that you are able to keep her as a hostage for 3 to 5 days. Wearing rings to have a giraffe's neck, in Thailand. Thailand's Karen tribe is fascinated with long necks, and looks like they can go a long way to achieve them. Women from the tribe wear rings around their neck to get a large neck, which they find to be a symbol of beauty and elegance. Girls start wearing rings around their necks when they are all of 5, and more rings are added as they grow up. El Colacho, Spain. This tradition in Castrillo de Murcia, in the north of Spain, has its origins in pagan rituals, and has been a local tradition since the 17th century. As a way to cleanse a new baby's soul, the tradition is commonly known as baby jumping. Every year, on the Sunday after the Feast of Corpus Christi, the event, which is now a mix of both pagan and Catholic traditions, begins with a procession through town, and at the end of the walk, babies born in the previous year are laid on a mat. Men dressed as the devil run between and jump over the babies. Next, the leaders of the Catholic Church in the Burgos region cleanse them with holy water. Red ink, South Korea. If you find yourself in the bustling cities, or in the calm countrysides of South Korea, avoid using red ink. Historically, in Korean culture red ink was only used to note the names of the dead on the family register. If the name of a living person was written in red ink, it was considered a sign that the person who wrote the name wished harm upon the other. Now, using red ink is a huge no throughout the country, especially to write down a name. It's considered rude and a sign of ill will against the person whose name is noted, so it's best to simply avoid the color altogether. Rumspringa, USA. The Amish church is certainly unique, and one interesting aspect is the traditional coming-of-age Rumspringa. The Amish are a religious community, largely based in many parts of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana, as well as smaller groups in other states. They live simply, without modern technology or fashion. At age 16, however, the Amish children are allowed to experience life outside the community for the first time. Rumspringa is meant to be a time for the kids to fully explore their faith and the real world, in order to be able to come to a decision on their own, whether they want to return to the Amish church or not. Whether the teens decide to return or not after Rumspringa, the time spent in the outside world is never put to waste. Teens can live on their own, or live with their families, buy cars, go to wild parties, try alcohol for the first time, get an education, as Amish schooling only goes through 8th grade, and much more. Bayanihan, in the Philippines. This custom involves the practice of moving the entire home to a new location. Villagers gather, lift up the home, and carry it over quite a long distance. It also happens during predicted floods, or landslides. This tradition is probably as close as we will ever get to being snails, carrying their houses on their backs. Sardine burial in Tenerife. A custom tradition among Spaniards is actually burying a sardine, with a funeral procession of mourners in black. It mostly occurs at the highly spirited moments in the Christian calendar, such as Lent and the Advent period. Krampuslauf. Krampuslauf, in Austria, Bavaria, and Switzerland, Krampuslauf is the scary, devil-like creature, called Krampus that carries cowbells, clank chains, and rides through the streets of the Alpine regions, scaring children and adults. Traditionally, young men dress as the Krampus, and are accompanied by Nicolaus, or Santa,